Hey everybody, I am so honored to be speaking to you today and really encouraged by what I hear that you're doing. I think that it's awesome and I'm honored to be able to talk to you. My name is Stacey Glenn and I'm a real estate agent and broker with Royal Shell Real Estate in Fort Myers, Florida. And your instructor told me a little bit about the subdivision that you're developing, and I think that is so cool. I'm going to tell you what I know about working in real estate. So, I run a small team of myself and a couple other agents here at Royal Shell Real Estate. So, I'm 37 years old, and I've had my real estate license for 8 years. I've done this full time now since 2015, so about 5 years, and got into real estate because I was interested in buying distressed houses and flipping them, fixing them up, that kind of a hobby interest. And it developed into a full-time career for me where this is what I do. I eat, breathe, and live real estate, and this is my passion, and I'm excited to share some information with you. One of the things your teacher had asked me to tell you about is how I got to where I am in real estate. I went to a university after college, a 4-year degree, business management and economics, and I envisioned myself going out and working for a bank or like Wall Street, or I had originally thought I'd be an attorney, and really saw myself in more of an institution type position. And so when I got into real estate and I started representing buyers and sellers selling residential properties, I found my passion. And although I did not need my 4-year degree, which I got, it has helped me immensely because being a real estate agent is being an entrepreneur. It's running your own business. It's being able to manage your own finances and plan for the future and plan out your marketing dollars. And I like to say being smart enough to make a plan and dumb enough to follow it. So it does require a lot of planning, and you don't have to be a certain type of person. I'm not an extroverted person by nature. I'm actually quite introverted. And so I think what it does require, though, is that you care about people, that you put the best interest of your clients first, that you're willing to do the right thing, even when it's not the easy thing to do, that you're trustworthy, you're honest, you are loyal, and you're hardworking, and you have a can-do attitude that no matter what, you'll figure it out. You'll figure out how to make it work. You'll get the answers even if you don't know them, because that's what people are paying you to do. They're paying you to make it easy. This is my duck right here. This is the Florida duck, the mallard, and this is my logo. And I chose the duck because if you've ever seen a duck gliding across the lake, it looks effortless, like they're just chilling, just gliding across the water like nothing. And you don't realize that under the water, they're going like this, like paddling like crazy, and you don't see any of that. And I liken that to what I do for my clients. I make the transaction as easy, as stress-free as possible, and they don't need to see all of the behind the scenes craziness that we have to deal with, all of the drama. We are here to shield them from that, to absorb that stress, absorb that drama, so that they only need to deal with the important decisions. And we advise them on, with our expertise, what the outcomes might be with different choices. Know that when you get a real estate license, you don't have to have a lot of schooling, formal schooling, to do so. You learn most of the things actually working and getting your experience, but you do have to continue to educate yourself and have minimum education requirements to keep your license active. I took the course online. I was 9 months pregnant with my second child and had a 17-month-old. and I got it in as quickly as I could. I went to the testing center on January 23rd, 2013, and started taking my real estate exam. And it's a 100-question multiple choice test. On question 66, I went into labor. And after 2 years, I went to renew my license and I decided to get my broker's license. So you've got your sales associate license, which is a certain amount of hours, and then after that, you can go and get your broker's license. And the difference is you have more education, you know how to run a brokerage that you own, but you don't necessarily have to run a brokerage. And that's what I do. I'm a broker associate. So I have a broker's license, and if I ever wanted to own my own brokerage and run it, I could. Or if I needed to step up into a broker role in my current office, I could do that too. Every real estate office has to have at least one head broker that oversees all of the actions of the agents that are working below that brokerage, and one and only one per brokerage. So I went on to get my broker's license. After that, when my next 2 years was ready for renewal, I decided to pursue my GRI, which is a Graduate of Realtor Institute. And it's the highest designation that you can earn in real estate, but it also can count for your continuing education credits. You know, you are paid on a commission basis in real estate. You don't get a salary, you don't get a paycheck, you don't punch the clock, there's no 9 to 5. So you have ultimate flexibility in your hours, when you choose to work, how you choose to work, who you choose to work with, and you're paid upon your ability to perform and to deliver results for your clients. And when you deliver excellent results, then your business will come more easily over time, because then you'll get the referrals from those people who had really wonderful experiences with you. I think probably the thing that people want to know about being a real estate agent is how we get paid, how much we get paid. And I think that the average real estate agent nationwide makes about $40,000 a year and does about 11 transactions a year. So about one sale a month, making about $40,000. And we're not a W-2 employee where the employer takes out taxes and puts money towards Social Security and Medicare and unemployment and all of that. We're a contractor. So we are responsible for paying our own taxes to the government. And so, you know, you may make 40,000, but you'll have to consider that the expenses that come out of that for your advertising, for your vehicle, for, you know, your taxes you pay to the government and all of that will come out, and saving for retirement, because no one is putting money into a retirement plan for me. I do much more business than that, but I also work in this full time. And I'll give you a breakdown for a typical home. So there's no set commission rate, because that would be against antitrust law. It's always negotiable, but each agent can set their own rate and what they're willing to do, and it may vary case by case. But let's just say, for example, that I represent a client and I am paid 3% of the sales price. And the sales price on that property is $300,000, which is a normal number here in Lee County. So $300,000 times 3% is a $9,000 commission. That commission goes from the closing, the title agent, directly to my brokerage. So whether I own my own brokerage or I hang my license at a brokerage like Royal Shell, that money actually is paid to my broker, not to me. And then I have an arrangement with my broker. We have a contract on how much of that I receive and how much I allow them to keep in exchange for the services that they provide to me. So when you're getting into real estate and you're considering where to hang your license, it's important to know, what am I getting for that money? How much am I giving up? You can go to brokerages that are no fee brokerages, and you might pay a flat fee of $195, but you don't get any guidance. There's no mentoring, there's no computers or printers or office space or anybody when you need help, and you're just basically on your own. Or you can get into another office where they have lots of training, there's always meetings, there's office space for you to use, lots of resources, and you might give up maybe up to half of your commission depending on what resources that you find value in. So every person will find their own happy, median, or they'll move around. And let's just say, as a beginning agent, that you have some mentorship and some guidance and all of the resources you need, and you don't have to pay those out of your commission, and you give up about half of your commission. So you'd be looking at about $4,500 received after each of those average sales. So you can see pretty easily how an average agent with 11 transactions would walk away with about $40,000 a year. So as you get more experience in real estate, you'll want to challenge yourself even more, because that's a characteristic of real estate agents. We like challenge. And you'll perhaps say, I'd like to specialize in waterfront property or estates or equine farms or new construction, or luxury properties. And you might decide to carve out a niche for yourself where you'll have a different price point, or you might provide more services and be able to charge more, or you might provide discount services and have more clients and provide less but have more volume. So you've got to just figure out what works for you and get a good mentor that can help guide you and tell you what's normal and what's not normal. And that is invaluable. You hear that about 90% of agents go out of the business in 2 years. That's true. I think the exact statistic is 88% of agents after 2 years do not renew their license. So, you'll hear about a lot of people getting their license, but once you break through that 2-year time frame, it becomes much easier, because after you've been in the business for a while, people begin to trust you. It's important every day, every client, every transaction, to give it your all, to do the best job that you possibly can. And if hearing that makes you feel challenged and excited, then real estate might be a career that you're interested in. Other thing in real estate or any sales career, you've got to know your why. And I think for any career, you really need to know your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? And if you can find your why, and you can find something that makes you happy when you're doing it, then you have the old cliche that you never work a day in your life, because you found your stride and the days are exciting. Okay, so I have a question for you before I move on to the next topic. Based on everything I've said, does real estate sound like an exciting career for you? Or does it sound like something that you would have absolutely nothing to do with, and if you ever bought and sold, you definitely want to hire someone like me to represent you? I'm going to pause the video and let you discuss that with your teacher before I resume. Okay, I heard, okay, before I move on, I want to ask everybody, I want to know, what is one special thing about you that you feel connects you with your clients? So my question is, what unique thing do you have about you that when you are speaking to people and you bring it up, you find commonality. This is called building rapport. So you ask questions about people that you don't know to get to know them. And then when they say something that is like, oh, I love soccer and I went to the World Cup in, Brazil and whatever. And you're like, oh my gosh, I love soccer too. My cousin was at the World Cup that year. Like, oh, what team were you? You're instantly building rapport with that person. So what is that one thing about you that just, I know it's already in your mind, that you could build rapport with? I'll go first. I'm a mom. I'm from Kansas. I grew up on a cattle ranch, so from the Midwest. And let me think. Can I start over? See, it always feels awkward to talk about yourself, but you need to start to identify, what do you have going on for you that is unique, that connects you with people. So I would say the number one thing is that I'm a mom, and that I'm from the Midwest. Your turn. Oh, there's one thing that I really wanted to say, and that is about language. So when I was talking about you carving out a niche for yourself in the market and deciding whether you wanted to go waterfront property or estates, one of the niches that people can be extremely successful with is when they're bilingual. So here in Florida, we have people who move here from every state in the country and every country in the world. Some of the people who buy homes in Florida are from Europe. So if you speak German or other languages, German stands out to me so much, then that can be a huge asset, because think about it, if you're coming from Germany and you speak English, but German is your primary language, you are going to feel so much more comfortable with someone who also speaks German and who knows your values, what's important to you. They just get you, and that you can communicate so much more easily than if you have to say everything in English. And the same thing goes for Spanish. Let me tell you, I studied Spanish in college and I can get around in Spanish, but doing a real estate transaction with someone who feels most comfortable speaking Spanish, I just don't feel qualified for that. So I have a referral partner that whenever I have a Spanish speaking buyer that really prefers to work with someone else who's Spanish speaking, I just call him and I refer them out, because it's better for the buyer. It's better for the client. So if you speak Spanish, let me just encourage you to promote that, to feel comfortable with it, and to really play that up and let people know that you speak Spanish, because it is an incredible asset, or any other language or any other hobby or thing that you really love.